Yo, my peoples, what's up? Welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop. Jason here. Today I have a true solo playthrough for Lord of the Rings Fate of the Fellowship, a pandemic system game. I've already done a playthrough for this one on the One Stop Co-op Shop. Go ahead and check out our playlist for Pandemic. I played that one two-handed. In the comments, some folks mentioned that they want to see a demonstration of the true solo experience. What makes it truly solo is that you have one hand of cards. There is multiple characters that are going to be laid out. Here I have 4 characters and also the 5th one, Frodo and Sam, which works slightly differently. One pool of resources though, so it's a little bit easier to manage, at least on the player side. For the most part, if you saw the last playthrough or you're familiar with the game, there won't be too much that is different. I'm still taking Frodo through Middle-earth, through all this wars, getting the distractions from the other characters, trying to make opening for Frodo to enter Mount Doom and win. But I do have different characters from last time. I have character-specific scenarios, so things will play out a little bit differently. So if you want to see a wider variety of what is available inside the Fate of the Fellowship package, this playthrough is for you. So let's get on to some channel announcements and then into Fate of the Fellowship True Solo Playthrough. We are the One Stop Co-op Shop, a multi-platform gaming empire, and your one stop for solo and cooperative gaming goodness. So I'm not going to get into a full rules explanation. I have that in the previous playthrough. We're jumping right in here. The 4 characters that I have chosen for this true solo playthrough: Galadriel, Gandalf, Gimli, and Gollum. Ain't nothing but a G then, baby. I'll go into everyone's powers and their overall motif when I begin their individual turns. The way it works, though, is that each character is going to have a go. So Galadriel will go, then Gandalf, then Gimli, then Gollum. I had to put it in alphabetical order because I'm a dork. So they're going to go with their 4 actions, and then Frodo and Sam are going to have their own action. And then the next character, 4-1, 4-1, 4-1. Frodo and Sam only always take 1 action, but they do go on every single turn. The big thing to know about the solo mode, and this changes things up pretty significantly, because there's the one hand and we're generating 1 pile of resources. In the base game, the multiplayer, you can discard any symbol at any haven and get that symbol. Here, you have to discard in the zone specifically. So right now, Frodo and Sam are an Eriador, so they can discard this Eriador card and get the token for the ring. They could not discard any of these other cards. I'd have to go to those places, or those characters would have to be the active player in that place to get those resources. So there is a lot more restriction on that. A big part of what changes up the overall puzzle of the solo game. So now let's talk about the objectives that I have chosen for the game. This game has a lot of objectives to choose from. I've chosen 3 for a basic game along with the Destroy the One Ring objective. So for the most part, either the objectives are going to mirror a episode that happened inside of the saga, or they're specific to a character and you have to use that character. So it's like with Legolas, if you use this objective, you have to use Legolas and take out a certain number of orcs. We have one for Eowyn. We have Boromir. This one's interesting because you have to get them to die. Complete their objective and do another character, so kind of get their redemption. Or this would be a more event-specific one, so unseat Denethor and Gondor, do something specific. Lots of different options for scenarios. So for this particular one, we have Lift Shadow from the Dwarven Lands. Use Gimli, so Gimli is in the game. Ered Luin, which is next to the Shire and the Dale. I have to clear them out and also marshal a whole bunch of Dwarven troops. To attain this one, then I would gain 2 swords and also 1 hope. I am also using Galadriel because I have the Lay Bare the Pits objective. So it tells me to use Galadriel and place an additional troop in Dol Guldur, which is right next to where she is in Lothlorien. She has to turn that one into a haven, which is with the capture action, and also discard a number of symbols. If she can do that while she is there, I'll get an additional hope in addition to the hope that I get from placing the haven. Last one I have is for Shelob's Lair. This one involves Gollum, so Gollum is in the game. They are going to have to complete some roles when I penetrate Mordor and go into Minas Morgul. All right, let's start with Galadriel. This first power is why I picked her along with her G name. So, Lady of Light, at any time, not an action, while in a haven, which I am now, I'm in Lorien, you spend 1 Travel Cloak to randomly draw one of the event cards that was not used during setup. Love using that during a playthrough like this because I want to show as much of the game as possible so you get to see lots of events with Galadriel. And it's not an action, let's just do it right now. I happen to draw a hand of 4 cards. I have 1 Travel Cloak, so it's totally worth discarding that. Let's see what I get from the unused events. The Council of Elrond. Move any number of characters to Rivendell. Hoo-hoo, free. You may not bring troops with you. Do not roll a search. Great. 1 player with a character in River that may then pass 1 symbol token to another player with a character there. In the solo game, prepare a card for free instead. Great. That is outstanding. Love that. I'm probably going to use that at some point very soon. Mirror of Galadriel. Action. Reveal up to 4 cards from the top of the player deck. Return them to the top of the player deck in any order. Great to use when you are in range of getting a Epidemic or a Skies Darken. So let me go ahead and use that right now. So that will be Galadriel's first action. This is the top 4 cards of the deck. Yeah! Skies Darken was the very first card. Don't you just love those games of Pandemic when the Epidemic comes first? Only I can rig things so that it doesn't affect me nearly as much at all. Great. So I can rearrange them in any order. I happen to know that Gandalf is going to do some recruiting. So let me go ahead and put this heart in my hand so that Gandalf has it. And let the Skies Darken trigger to get it out of the way. Great. Her last power is if Galadriel and at least 1 elven troop are present in a battle, I may re-roll a die. That'll happen because she has to go to Dol Guldur and free it, but I don't have to worry about that until later. So that was 1 action. Here is the place where she needs to liberate right next to Mirkwood. So she is not ready. She only has the 1 troop, so we're going to go 1, 2, down to Helm's Deep. But the important thing is that they're at Rohan. So the last action they're going to do is they are going to prepare Rohan and get a sword symbol. Don't know if I want Galadriel to stray too far from Dol Guldur, but they do need a sword symbol. So if I get rings and swords, or if I get 3 swords, then I'll be okay. And my hand is going to fill up really fast every single turn. So I think using the extra action to keep my hand clear is going to be key. Frodo is going to go with their 1 action. They are going to prepare in Eriador because that is the zone in which I am at, and they are going to get themselves a ring. In addition, once per turn, when Frodo prepares, if he is at a haven in the region named on the card, which is the only way to do it in solo, I also gain 1 heart token from the supply. So I am already filling up on tokens. Tokens in this game are key. And because the event is coming, or the epidemic is coming, and I would lose 2 hope if I was in the zone with the eye. Let's go ahead and use this right now. Move any number of characters to Rivendell. You may not bring troops with you. Do not roll a search. So let's go ahead and just bring Frodo over to Rivendell. Get them away from the eye, and gives me a lot of rope with the deck. So I know I'm not going to get epidemics anytime soon after this one. Young Smeagol, would you like to go to Rivendell as well? I can take you there.
What did you say? No! I will not go with those tricksy elves! Dirty! Filthy! Yeah!
I am sure young Smeagol will redeem himself before too long. So the card says I can prepare without a matching region, so I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of that. That empties my hand. It's going to fill up real soon. So that is Gondor. And the most important, that is the ring. Start the turn with 4 cards, end it with 4 tokens. Excellent. I'll take that every single time. I knew where I was going to get it. I got my heart that I'm going to use next turn, and Skies Darken.
What? He was here. It's the beginning of the book. Where did they go? Find them, my Nazgul. I sense where they are. In the Elven Fortress. You can't hide forever.
The threat also goes up by 1. We get 3 troops in South Ithilien. And we are going to shuffle this light stack of cards. Only the 9 initial cards to lay out more troops. And those 2 special cards. So I'm going to get hit with them again. But it's not as devastating as in regular Pandemic because I haven't seen that troop movement yet. All right. So we got the bottom card. We got +1 in Nirn. Nirn is the last city in Mordor. Plenty of troops there. Deploy 3 Nazgul from Mordor to the Eye. So 4 are in Mordor right now. They start the game there, so they are all going to descend on Rivendell. So much for trying to escape, but at least that won't happen anytime soon. Okay, if when Mordor is empty, take them from the largest pile. If the eye is in Mordor, recall them to Mordor. So this is the mechanism that just has the Nazgul following the eye. So it is really important that I get the eye away from Frodo before I get hit with that too much. That is that one. So we get another one, a troop in Nir Hadad. Thank you, commenter, for telling me that there is a Far Harad to go with the Nir. And shift the eye to Frodo's region. If it's already there, roll a search. That's just horrible because that means a 4-die search. The timing on that could not have been worse. Ugh. Let's see where it goes. But at least I'm in a haven. So, yeah, actually, that's not bad at all. That's really not bad. So I do lose 1 hope. The reason I pointed out I was in a haven because of this symbol right here. I would not have counted that. But 2 of the Nazgul retreat to Mordor. I like that now. I won't like that later. All right, next up is Gandalf. We are going to chain one character into another, key to the solo game. Mithrandir. When Gandalf musters, add up to 2 troops to his location instead of 1 troop. That's why I have this. I'll get to that in a second. First, we got Shadowfax. When Gandalf travels alone, he may move 2 locations away. He may not use Special Pass when he does this. So this will take a normal character 3 moves, but on Shadowfax, we are going to dash through Eriador. 1. Set off some fireworks in the Shire for the denizens. 2. End up in Ered Luin. Why? Because I am going to take over for Gimli over here. Gimli, go and help the realm! And do the lift shadow from Dwarven Lands. Gotta have 4 troops and no shadow troops in these 2 areas. So right now, Dale is cleared. I don't have to worry about that, but you see how Eriador or Ered Luin in Eriador is way out of the way, so Gandalf is going to take care of it. All right, so I need to recruit some more troops there. With Gandalf Mithrandir power, we are going to use our 3rd action to discard that card. So I don't need to match when I recruit or when I get troops. I only need to match that when I prepare, which is to get the token. All right, but instead, let's go ahead and marshal some more troops here and surround this poor little shadow schmuck who I don't know how they ended up all the way up here. Let's just say they are a ruffian from Bree. Nice human rabble that is in every single other Lord of the Rings game. So there you go, human rabble. And for my 4th action, we are going to take care of that human rabble because their stench offends me. Rolling 1 die, and I got the perfect outcome of that. I did not lose any of my troops. And human rabble goes, I thought there were only a bunch of soft little hobble. Oh, I think you misspelled dwarf, human rabble. And the reason I took that risk is to draw the eye away from Frodo and Sam. So hopefully the enemy deck won't hit them too bad. Frodo and Sam go with their 1 action. I don't have any cards in hand, so there's not much that I can do besides move. Not the smartest move, but I think the timing works out where in a couple of turns I will have a lot of help if I expose myself in Holland. So there are 2 Nazgul present, so we're going to roll 2 dice right now. So I lose 1 hope. I'm going to get hope back when I start completing these objectives, but I don't like how much I'm pushing it, especially in this early game after 2 turns, for crying out loud. So I know what these cards are because I put them on the top of the deck with the scry. 2 travels. All right, come on, troop movement. Okay, we got some troop movement over here. We are going to go from Umbar to Helm's Deep. So that is this route right here. So we are going to take these troops and bring them up. That initiates a battle right there. So I roll 3. The game is really specific. Even though there's only 1 defender, they are the attackers. So they are going to roll. And they could take themselves out pretty easily. They do not. Oh my God. They haven't done anything. They are sustaining themselves, marauding through Pelargir. And take out one of these poor Gondorian soldiers. And the second card is on the bottom. We have Nirn. Nirn and Rune are basically repositories for tons of minis. Deploy 3 Nazgul from Mordor to the Eye. So we do have those Nazgul that came in there, but they are going towards Eriador, away from the Hobbits. So that is really nice that I got that Gandalf got the Eye away from the Hobbits. So that's just pulling them out. If they are not in Mordor, we are good to go. Next up is our third glorified G, Gimli, son of Glóin. Shout out in the comments if you used to call it Gloin, or if you still call it Gloin, which gave my teenage heart a Twitter. It is actually Glóin. Anyway, their power, which I'm going to spam as much as possible, when they muster in a dwarven fortress location, do not need to spend hearts. They start in a dwarven fortress location, so that is just an automatic to get them ready. So they are going to spam it twice and get 2 troops to over where they are, which brings them to 3. I have 1 dwarven troop in the supply left, so that is going to go to Gandalf to fulfill that objective. That is 2 actions. Another action, Dwarven Craft. Action, once per turn, gain 1 sword token from the supply. I mean, just loading up on tokens. I'm going to use them all before the end of the game. In addition, I need sword tokens for this power. I need sword tokens to create this haven, and I'd rather save my rings. So right now, all of my characters are helping each other.
Thank you, Gandalf the Grey. You've always been friends to the dwarves. Now, let's go take some shadow hide out of their carcasses.
That didn't make any sense.
It's 10 a.m. I'm just getting started.
Frodo gets their 1 action. Here is why I exposed myself in Holland. So I heard a rumor, or Frodo and Sam heard a rumor, that there is a creature crawling around the depths of Moria who, of uncertain loyalty, but they hate the Shadow Legion. So if I can find them, then I might be able to find a guide into Mordor. So that requires me, this is a special path to get rid of a heart. I just so happen to have a heart token. Steep cost, but it is worth it. They're going to leave the elven troop right there because it just so happens that the Gollum figure cannot travel with troops, so why have them? Actually, you know what? I'll just take them into the mines with me. They're not going to trigger a fight or anything. So first of all, we have to resolve the search roll. There are 3 troops hanging out in Moria along with a Nazgul. So ordinarily, that would be 4 dice that I will be rolling on search. However, the Gollum power, which I'm going to get to in a second, or I'll get to their full turn in a second, but here's the power. When Gollum is present, when a search is rolled, roll 3 fewer dice. Fantastic.
There's a hobbit coming in. I know that smell anywhere. It smells like biscuits and gravy and blood. Let's go get him.
No, that smell you smell is me and my breakfast. You cannot find me.
Okay, gang, false alarm. Back to our poker game.
Your tricks do not work on me, Ancient One.
No! Run away! The hobbitses, they're mine.
Oh, Mr. Frodo, I don't think this is a great idea. It's dark and scary, and I heard some people playing poker, I think. Never you mind, Sam. We're where we need to be.
What have you got in your pockets?
I have biscuits and apple and some rope. You can have whatever you want.
Shiny. I want shiny. You, thin one. Do you have shiny?
Are you the one they used to call Smeargle?
No, Smeargle's dead. I'm
Well, if it's shinies you want, I have shinies in my pocket. And there's more if you can take us into Mordor.
Yay, happy shiny, and I'm going to get my precious.
Oh, Mr. Frodo, does he know you have the precious he's looking for? Let's not mention that, Sam. Let's just take his help. I know my little voice pantomimes aren't everybody's favorite here on the channel, but some people like them, and if you play with me live, that's exactly what you're going to be getting. All right, I am pulling 2 cards, 1 event. Sweet. We have 1 heart and Entmoot. Add up to 3 Ent troops to Fangorn. Use the Elven troops. You may then optionally move them and any characters who want to go to an adjacent location, including Isengard. All right, so if I want to, I can add troops here and move them to an adjacent space. Oh, and that actually combos very well with this one. So instead of 3 Elven troops, there are 3 Entmoody troops. Entmoody? Sure, we'll call them that. Works for Galadriel's purposes. They're nice and natural, so might be a really great one to play in a couple of turns. All right, so now we are going to move some troops from Duneland to Helm's Deep. Wow, we have a big collapsing of troops into Helm's Deep. They're going to move along this orange line over here. Looks like Helm's Deep is going to, just like in the books, be the site of a big battle. And the next card is more troop movement. We are going to go... those are the cards that came out, so lots of stuff coming to Helm's Deep. But the forces of Gondor are away. Stay thy hand, orcs! And for the love of the gods, do better than that last one. So I have to roll 3 because they are the initiators. So they kill themselves on the walls, taking 1 troop out in return. These troops are going to come in and back them up. Oh, am I going to get reinforced anytime soon? So Gollum's a very unique character, fun to play because you have to kind of work around it. Gollum cannot muster, attack, or capture, or bring friendly troops along with them when they travel. So it looks like that elf troop is stuck there in Moria for the time being. Pobre. They tricks us! When Gollum, Frodo, or friendly troops enter or are added to a location, lose 1 hope if all 3 are present there. So they can't be around a whole bunch of different troops together at once. They can travel with Frodo, but as long as Frodo is not traveling with troops. So we already talked about the guide power that lets them roll 3 fewer. So they are going to definitely stick with Frodo and Sam for the time being. Very thematic as well. And let's use these 2 powers. So Slinker, first of all, action once per turn. Take any travel card out of the player discard pile. So they are going to sneak around to those orcs that are playing cards. And they are going to sneak and take a travel cloak from them. Cunning is really good. Gollum can prepare even if not in a haven, which opens up so many possibilities for preparation, but not in the solo because I still have to be in that region. When he prepares them, I may move 1 troop, a shadow troop, present to an adjacent location, kind of push them away. Really, Gollum is here, just like in the books, as Hobbit escort. But let's keep that power in mind. It is time for Gollum to lead the merry band down to Mordor. Unfortunately, leaving this elf to rot in, surrounded by troops. Mr. Frodo, I thought I was loyal to you. I don't know what to tell you. Fate is going to pull me into Mordor. It's going to pull you into glory against the Balrog. Good luck with that. 1, 2. No roll because I roll 3 less on searches with Gollum. Reason I'm going this way into the Mirkwood is because they are going to use their cunning power to discard this card and gain a valuable heart that is going to stay with me as a token. Fabulous.
Here, fat hobbits. Do you promise to love me now?
We're one big happy traveling family now, aren't we, Mr. Frodo? Yes, one big happy family. So that is all of Gollum's turn. So Frodo and Sam are going to keep up the travels, going 1 towards the Brownlands. They are going to pick 2 cards to see I have lots and lots of travel. And I get Rovanian, which is pretty good. And Gaze into a Palantir. Select any character, shift the eye to their region, then move any 3 Nazgul into that region. Great distraction event. Let's see if I need to take advantage of it. All right, more troop movement. We're going to Helm's Deep. I have a feeling I should be marshaling many, many troops there. Good thing I have a plan for that. And the next card is going to be a marshal. No, it is not. It is the Drums of War. Add 1 shadow troop to every shadow stronghold in Mordor. You see how crowded Nirn got. So they're going to be, I'm going to hear from them pretty soon. The strongholds are specifically the spaces with the jagged edges. So 3 get added right there. That will not be the last time. All right, it is Galadriel's goal. They are at Helm's Deep. Young Smeagol, thank you for getting us the resources we need to advance our cause.
No, that's not for you. Tricks us.
That card they dug out of the discard pile is going to turn into an event card with Galadriel's power. Elven Cloaks and Robe. Select a character that may travel alone up to 2 times. Do not roll searches. Keep that 1 in mind. Hand is getting full, so it looks like it is time to gather the Entmoot. Add up to 3 Ent troops and then optionally move them and any characters to an adjacent location.
Ooh, the forces of shadow are bringing their industry and their smoke and their metal. It is time to take the forest back.
So it very much looks like Helm's Deep is the prize. So with action 2, we are going to move all of our troops over here. In action 3, we are going to take as many of these orcs down as possible. We got 1, 2, 3. So that is 3 hits. That does take them out, but it does take out one of my troops. I got to figure out if I want to let that happen. Or Galadriel's power is Nenya. I think that's the ring, right? If Galadriel and at least one elven troop are present when a battle is rolled, you may re-roll up to 1 die. So nothing worse can happen if I re-roll this one, but I might save a troop. No, I do not save a troop because I am not fighting on a haven. Oh, it was worth it, milady. Go take those tree things and take back Dol Guldur. That placed me objective. Thank you. Your sacrifice shall be honored.
I recognize that ring. Give it back.
So with the pressure off of Helm's Deep, I know I might be getting these troops, but that I have a much more time to wait for them. So let's go ahead and re-marshal at Helm's Deep and head back to Dol Guldur. I feel prepared now. So you see how easy it is for a hand to fill up in a solo game. I'm already at 7. So it's a good thing I've been taking advantage of gathering whenever I can. So I have 2 more cards. Some civil diversity. Hopefully I can get rid of some of these next turn. All right, we have the Wheels of Saruman. Choose one of the following. Break oath, remove any 2 friendly troops. Single player must discard a total of 2 player cards. I'm probably not going to do that right now. And also lose 1 hope. Those bottom 2 are bad. Let's go ahead and remove some friendly troops.
Haha, 3 of a kind. It looks like it is my pleasure to take out this elven troop.
Oh, why did they leave me here?
What? Cousin? Off to the Grave Havens? I must follow. All right, next one. We have plus in Rune. Shift the eye to Frodo's region. Boo! The skies, Mr. Frodo. They're getting darker. There's a chill in the air. Time for Gandalf the Grey to give hope to the land. We are going to discard this card that I just pulled. I am not at a haven, but I am at a dwarven stronghold as indicated by this gray filled in symbol right there. So that is the last dwarf in the supply. And it doesn't say I need to take an action. It just needs, just indicates that the condition needs to be met, which it is now. No shadow troops in Ered Luin. At least 4 dwarf troops are there and no shadow troops in Dale. All that is good. When completed, the current player may gain 2 battle tokens from the supply and gain 1 hope.
You've always been quite good to us, Gandalf the Grey. We'd like to give you a present. A shiny paperweight.
A paperweight, you say? Gaze into the Palantir. Select any character, shift the eye to their region, then move any 3 Nazgul there. So we are in range to get another epidemic. So let's go ahead and take that eye away from Frodo over there and get 1, 2, 3 Nazgul. All of them are floating around in Eriador looking for nothing. My task is done here, noble dwarves of Ered Luin. It is time for me to depart.
Is there a battle afoot? There's a lot of scary creatures out there. Take us with you.
You'll only slow me down. Ho ho! Shadowfax, move 2 for the price of 1. So we got 2 actions, 3 actions, 4 actions. Goodbye, dwarves.
I hope we get an event card that gets us out of here.
Time for Frodo and Sam's 1 action. Going this way because it costs us less symbols, but it does expose us to this troop over here. Mr. Frodo, is that safe? Trust in fate, Sam. Has it steered us wrong so far? Draw 2 cards. We have 2 more resources. And we also have Rovanian, something like that. So when Gollum goes, they can discard this card here. They're the only ones that can do it because he's the only character that can gather outside of a haven. Normally, this Rovanian card cannot be gathered in the solo game, but Gollum is on the case. All right, card the first. The bottom, we have +1 in Moria. Good thing we have gotten ourselves out of there. Probably not going to go back there again. Shift the eye to Frodo's region. If they bring the Nazgul over to the eye, the next card, I'm going to be really, really mad. No, they don't. It is marching out of Moria towards Rivendell. Wow, I was just going to talk about Moria not being a threat. Never I mind. Gimli's turn. They are going to head into Rovanion. The air here is so foul. What's going on? Oh, young hobbits, what are you doing here? Mr. Gimli, so good to see you. Get that thing away from us. That big eye floating in the sky? Not a problem. For aboard! All right, we are going to begin the culling of Dol. Why can't I pronounce that? Dol Guldur? It's a lot of similar vowels at once. All right, so we are going to use 3 dice. And we are going to get rid of 2 and only lose 1 of my troops. And I'm going to have to discard this at the end of the turn anyway, so let me just go ahead and use it for the symbol. See if I can avoid the fate of losing a troop. Yes, I actually do. There are no Nazgul here. Yeah, Dol Guldur. That place is ours. And I need to make room in my hand for the new cards coming in, so let me go ahead and use this one, Elven Cloaks and a Rope. Select any character. They may travel alone up to 2 times. That's going to be Gandalf. I don't think that Shadowfax... Actually, Shadowfax does apply when Gandalf travels alone. The card says travels alone. Keep on going. Fortify minus Tirith. Hand management is the name of the game, more so in solo than in the other scenarios. I got another event. Fantastic. Heart for Mordor, the Red Arrow. Move up to 3 friendly troops in the same haven to 1 different haven. Great. So those troops that are massed in Ered Luin, those dwarves over there, they can come in. They optionally roll a battle there, shift the eye to that region if you do. So I'm probably going to use this just to kind of lighten the hand pressure, but let me just kind of see how the game plays out first. All right, we have 1 more in Duneland. Duneland is, that whole side of the board is basically abandoned. I hope Rivendell doesn't fall too bad. Okay, move to Nazgul closer to Frodo. Holy Toledo, those Nazgul are so far away. 1 into the Misty Mountains and 1 into Endawaith. Yeah, that is just, they are really far away. Great news for now. There, right here, Rune. So Rune gets another troop. Hopefully Gimli can get over there pretty soon. And deploy 3 Nazgul from Mordor to the Eye. Did I forget to move this thing? That is really key because there are going to be 3 that are going from Eredor. Eriador? I guess that's how you pronounce that. My Middle Earth pronunciation is just for the birds. So they are going to deploy right there, still away from Frodo. Oh, the air feels so much cleaner here, Mr. Frodo. Wait, where did our friend go?
Master, I have gone away and gotten you more treats. Am I good?
Mr. Gollum, Mr. Smeargall, you're the best. Get out of my pockets. I got nothing in there.
I don't want what's in your pockets. I want to go to Mordor. Don't you?
We're going to go to Mordor, but first we need to provision. Have you said hi to the...
Ah! They tricks us again!
I didn't just say that. That's actually on the card. When Gollum, Frodo, or friendly troops enter or are added to a location, I lose 1 hope if all 3 are present. All 3 are present. So I lose a hope, but I have a plan for that. So that was Frodo's go. Now it is that card pull. Now I am in range of getting that next pandemic. I got that one super early, so I've had a lot of cards to deal with it, but I am in range right now. All right, hopefully the eye does not move over to... hopefully the eye does not move over anywhere. Shift the eye to Frodo's region. And we get +1 troop in Isengard. That shouldn't be too much of a threat. I emptied that out pretty good. Come on, Nazgul. No Nazgul. Okay, so we have troop movement out of Duneland towards the Greyhaven this time. And that would be the Purple Arrow. All right, it is top of the round Galadriel goals. They are going to take advantage of their power. So we have this card, which I'm going to discard and draw from the top of the event deck. That's not an action because it cost me a card. Gift from the elves. Select 1 symbol, a token from the supply, give it to any player, which is myself. And I'm going to use that right away because I want rings. So that brings me to 3 out of the 5 rings that I need. Perfect. Now I need to draw the attention of that eye. There's a couple of ways that I can do it, but here is a way that I can do a couple of things at once. We are going to do, let's go take them all. 1, 2, 3. Capture oh my God. Why is there a problem with that? Dol Guldur. Boom. That is a haven.
I don't know which way to go. There's a haven. There's a hobbit. Haven, hobbit, haven. Urgh.
Oh, hope for the peoples. And the main reason I stopped in Gondor, because I have 2 cards in hand that I can discard for preparation at Minas Tirith. So let's go ahead and discard this Gondor card, getting a cloak, and thanks to Sam's power, that also gets me a heart. Building that haven over there cost me 3 swords. Let's go ahead and get rid of those. So that's the current state of my resources, liking where I am so far. And the hand management has been pretty good too. So now I'm down to 5 cards. So now I can absorb 2 more without discarding, 1 more without discarding. Here comes that Sky's Dark and I was afraid of. Threat is raised. Now I am pulling 3 cards from the enemy deck. I did myself a huge favor with that haven because I would have lost hope. Instead, I drew away the eye and now drew back the eye.
Haven, hobbit, haven, hobbit.
Here is some bad news, though. Under a cover of darkness, I add 3 troops to Druidan Forest. That is not good news, but the arrows are not flowing this way. They're flowing towards Helm Deep, which is currently undefended. So we give these a good shuffle, and now we are going to pull 3 of them. All right. First of all, we get no troop movement whatsoever. The Drums of War add 1 shadow troop to every shadow stronghold in Mordor. I'm going to go ahead and take care of that off camera. That's not relevant quite yet, but it is some good buildup. All right, down here, plus a troop in Rune. That's a lot of troops over there. Shift the eye to Frodo's region. If it's already there, make a search.
Troops, followers, find them, find them.
There are no Nazgul in the region, and there are no troops at their location, so that is actually a no roll there. All right, we also have the Wheels of Saruman. Either get rid of 2 troops, discard 2 cards, or lose 1 hope. The Nazgul are tired of being left out in the cold. If they can't have Hobbit, they are going to munch on some dwarf and elf. All right, so Gandalf goes. They are going to muster Trice, but before that, I'm actually going to go with Frodo and Sam first. Going to do what I said I was going to do before. Use Gondor and get a heart and another heart from Sam's power. I have 5 hearts total. That is a really good place to be. All right, now we have Gandalf over here, and I have 2 heart cards. We're looking forward to this. I do not need to be in the same spot to gather forces. So we're going to discard 2. Gandalf shines Mithrandir into the air and inspires the Gondorian populace to follow his lead. Ignore that old corrupt fool, Denethor. To battle! All right, we're going to clear this out before they threaten Helm's Deep, and also to get more troops into the pool. I only have 6 troops left in the reserve, at least shadow troops. If I have to pull a troop and there is none, then that is a loss of hope. So let's go ahead and put some back. All right, there are no Nazgul, so the Nazgul faces won't apply here. So we have a poor roll. However, this is Gandalf's last power. What a powerful card. Light and Flame. If Gandalf is present when a battle is rolled, then I spend this sword to change the same number of dice to any result I want. So 1 for 1. So I have 2 swords and no real use for them anymore now that I have made my haven. So let me go ahead and use these 2 swords to change these 2 results to dead shadow creatures. Boom. Eye of Sauron does not change. I don't mind that they're in Frodo's realm for now, because Frodo is the first move they're going to make is out of that zone. So even if a bunch of Nazgul flood in here, I'm running away from them. So that's fine that the eye stays here. That's the current state of my resources. Cleared out my hand pretty good there. We have Mirkwood and Ithilien. I'm about to go into Ithilien, so that does help me. And I have 2 travel cloaks. Really, really good sign. Resolving 3 this time. Can't forget that. We have +1 troop in Rune. I need to go clear that out somehow. Deploy 3 Nazgul from Mordor to the Eye or from the biggest group. Right now, the biggest group is still in Eriador. So we're going to get 2 from Eriador and 1 from Mirkwood to enter into Gondor. The skies over Gondor are darkening. All right, next card is going to be also on the bottom, +1 in Isengard. And shift the eye over to Frodo. If he's already there, go a search. So this is where the cards kind of come together and really put me behind the 8 ball. Normally this would have been a 0 roll, but now it is a roll at a +3. Boo!
No, you can't have the hobbitses. They're not here. They're in Rohan. Go!
Wording is clear. If Gollum is present when a search is rolled, not when Gollum moves or anything like that. And this says if it's already there, roll a search. So this is a search. So we roll 3 fewer dice. Man, Gollum is powerful. That makes up for the fact that they can't even do half the game. The part that they can do is powerful. And one more, we get some troop movement towards the Grey Havens. That's pretty hilarious. We have this one slacker over here that is slowly sauntering their way towards the Grey Havens. Maybe they'll make it before the end of the game. Gimli has troops. Gimli has friends. Gimli is bored. Gimli says to Galadriel,
"You ready to get your skirt dirty, lass, with shadow blood? I bet I can kill more orcs than you."
"Oh, last time I played that game was 500 years ago. Perhaps it is time to play again." 1, 2, 3. I really like how in this game you could just move every troop and characters just in a giant mass all over the place. We got 1, 2, 3. Let's go clear that out and lessen the pressure on the pile of reserve troops and also draw the attention of the eye.
Glory! These will all count as mine.
1, 2, 3. And Galadriel also has a power. If a Galadriel, at least one of a troop are present, when a battle is rolled, I may re-roll 1. You knew that one's getting re-rolled.
That's still 2 to 1, lass. And here, just because I have nothing better to do, that's 3 to 1.
You, with my old wing, get back here.
Do we have our provisions, Mr. Proto? Are we ready to go into the depths of the mountains? Ready as ever, Samuel, to meet my fate. Mr. Frodo, you're scaring me. Why are you so spooky? 1 step towards the Mordor. They're going into Ithilien away from the Nazgul, so no stealth roll. And I don't think I showed this on camera. I finished this Lay Bare the Pits. I got the reward when I made the Haven, which was to increase the hope, so I'm good to go. Doing a pretty good job in my hand. I haven't had to discard at one due to having too many cards. Trying to get myself in positions where I'm using all the cards. That's probably the most interesting part of the solo game that makes it very different from the multiplayer game. So I really am enjoying this. All right, so let's get some troop movement. First of all, Umbar to Helm's Deep, but have I cleared everything out yet? No.
Ah! Shadow! Hide, hobbitses! Hide!
No game effect. I just like the fact that Gollum has the backs of our hobbit friends. Card. The second is more marshalling. We have +1 in Isengard. And we are going to move 2 Nazgul closer to Frodo.
You can't run away from us forever. We're right on your tail.
Look at that. We have 1 space to get into before we can get into Mordor. So those Nazgul might cause a problem. Maybe. And 3 is more of this nonsense. So we have +1 troop in Nirn. And if a troop is added to a place where there is already troops, friendly troops, then a battle starts.
Get them stormtroopers. I mean, Uruk-hai orcs.
Whoa. Okay, that is nothing. That is an exchange of captives.
Never mind. Stormtroopers it is.
2 Nazgul also go to the eye from the largest groups. They're all kind of spread out, but pick from the group of 2. That's going to be here. Now you count again. Pick from another group of 2. That's going to be right there. So we now have Nazgul that are overseeing this battle, which means that if I continue to fight here, then I'm going to get this die is going to kill 2 of my troops. So that might make me rethink camping out at Rune. All right, we're nearing the end of dramatic climax. So, first of all, Gollum is going to take that Athelion card. They can gather. They have to be in the zone. They are in the zone. So they are going to discard that and get a travel token. And then they are going to slink around and get it back.
No one has been to Mordor and come out alive except Smeagol.
Mr. Gollum, you really should get that cough checked out. 1, skip the stealth roll because I am covered by Gollum away from the Nazgul. Going to discard 2 cards. Right here, that Athelion card and Mirkwood to bypass this special path and head into Minas Morgul.
What's going on? No one can come in here. Hey, you! Who are you?
Run, hobbitses! Run! I can't protect us!
Don't lose hope, Gollum. Well, maybe lose a little bit of hope, but not too much. As they enter Shelob's lair inside of Minas Morgul, Smeagol notices an increasing glint in Frodo's eye.
Wait a minute. I see you keep on checking your pockets. What have you got in your pockets?
Mr. Frodo, no! Mr. Frodo, I will protect you! Spend an action inside Minas Morgul, roll 3 dice. I rolled 2 of these dice, which means lose 3 hope, lose 6 total, which would bring me down to 1. However, Sam may ignore 1 die for each sword he spends and prevent the loss of 1 hope for each heart he spends. Spend a sword, ignore 1 whole die. Get out of here. Spend 3 hearts, 2 tokens, and a card. Ignore that dice as well. Smeagol, get control of yourself. Yes, I have Sauron's ring, but I'm not here to claim it. I'm here to destroy it and free us both from this curse.
No, my precious!
It's for both of our goods. You need to swear that you're going to follow us.
We swears in the process that will help the master. Yes, help the master.
When this is completed, if Frodo did not lose any hope from this, which he did not, he may do 1 additional action this turn. Smeagol. Yes, Smeagol, not Gollum. Are you ready?
Yes, I suppose we're ready.
Look at that hand management. All I have is this troop summoning card, and I have a ring. So I need 5 rings in order to do the thing. So I'm hopeful over the next 4 turns, I get a 5th ring for my hand to go with the 5 rings that I have here. I have a pretty good chance of that because I haven't gotten a lot of ring pulls so far, or else I'd have more tokens. But I'm hopeful that by the end of Gollum's next turn, then I'll be able to win the game. But first, we need to survive what the deck gives us. We have Near Harad. I called it Near Harad in the last playthrough, and I kind of like how that sounds. So let's go ahead and add that. But shift the I from to Frodo's region.
Smeagol, ancient friend Smeagol, are you really helping the hobbits?
No, not you again! You're not my friend! Precious.
All right, card number 2. We have Troop Movement this time out of Umbar towards Helm's Deep.
They've left the city undefended? I wonder why.
Yes, I wonder why. Card the 3rd, we have more summoning. This is going to be hit Frodo. +1 in Nirn. Nirn is building up troops in Mordor right there. Deploy 3 Nazgul from Mordor to the Eye. Ugh. So that means that troops are going to get recalled. So as you can see, we have Nazgul all over the place, and they are in groups. Well, right now there's 2 pairs right there. I just broke the pairs. So now there is not a single group. So I can choose any one of these Nazgul. So let's go ahead and clear that one out so that we can begin the killing here again. What was the score again? 3 versus 1 to you? Brother Ents, why don't you do something about that?
With pleasure, my lady.
Ooh, that is not a good roll at all. This is a null roll. Thank you to the Nazgul clearing out. This is good, but this one's not so good. But Galadriel has one Elven/Entmu troop, so they are going to go ahead and re-roll that. Hey, had some good luck with that. I believe, bearded friend, that is what they called in the common language a tie.
With all due respect, milady, ties are for losers. Wait until I go again.
Wait, Rune was such a beautiful city. You're clearing it out of my influence. I don't like it.
It seems I have more than one action to take. You used all of your actions just to get here. It seems that I have enough capacity to finish up and maybe score ahead of you.
With pleasure, my lady. Branches beat axes.
Whoa, that is nightmarishly bad. So those are 2 null rolls. This is 1 kill, but I'll see if I could save a troop here or there. That is bad news.
You mean you didn't sacrifice one of your troops to win? Bah, lady, I'll show you how it's done.
All right, well, I think that's enough for now. So let's go ahead and discard this to get an event card, because Galadriel can do that. That's not an action. Orc infighting. You may remove up to 2 from any one location. How funny would it be if she just used it on this just to spite Gimli? But no, I see where the hobbits need to go, so let's go ahead and remove those 2. Mr. Frodo, fortune smiles upon us. It looks like the orcs are fighting one another. I wonder how that happened. Galadriel has 2 actions left, so they are going to use their power Mirror of Galadriel, which I have not used since the beginning of the game, so that was as good a time as any to use it. Oh, there it is. Found the skies darkened. Did not find a ring. That's unfortunate. Tom Bombadil, do one of the following. Gain 1 hope or a roll up to 3 dice from a single roll. Oh, that's not that great. I'll take it, but I don't need it right now. Let's go ahead and resolve the skies darkened right now while the eye is away from Frodo. And why not? I got nothing better to do. Well, let's go ahead and re-roll that one. Okay, we got rid of 2 at the cost of 1. So they are going to sacrifice.
Don't even look at my troops, lady.
It's okay. I've done my work. I feel like resting anyway.
All right, so that brings the eye over there. We know what's going to happen from there. So these 2 don't have anything else to do. So they're just going to go ahead and use these last 2 in order to move. Actually, you know what? I don't need to because I used that event. Let's move right in here and not trigger a search roll. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's too bad. Let's go ahead and discard those things and get to Mount Doom. So they're not going to have anything to do until Gollum's turn. Or they're not going to do anything until they get a 5th ring. So they're basically just waiting for the card pulls from that. I know it's going to happen for a couple of turns, but I am waiting with bated breath. And so I know that this was the Skies Darken. Let's do it. Threat level is going to go up, still pulling 3 cards. The eye is moved to Mordor. I do not lose the hope. 3 troops in Emyn Muil. Muil. Something like that. Because I cleaned out Rune, I have plenty of shadow tokens in the reserve and a whole fresh set of reshuffled shadow cards. All right, we got 1, so that is the bottom, plus 1 in a Dunland, which is really not, there's nothing happening over there. Shift the eye to Frodo's region. If it's already there, perform a search. That's not great. Looks like I'm going to take a little bit of a ding on hope. But at the very least, I was able to avoid these 2. And I'm able to evade them because of Gollum. You are proving your worth.
Yes, Master. I'm doing so good, precious.
All right, up next. Please tell me it's not another search. Oh, it's even worse. All right, more troops in Nirn. Deployed 3 Nazgul from Mordor to the Eye. So we're just going to take them from closest, from Ithilien, Mirkwood, and Gondor. So now there's a lot of troops collapsing on Mordor. We have 6 Nazgul total. Not good news at all. Good Lord, stop it. Plus 1 in Rune, which triggers a battle. I'll get to that in a second. But I deployed 3 Nazgul from Mordor to the Eye. You have to be kidding me. That means all 9 of the Nazgul are in Mordor, which would count against the roll that I need to make. So I'll be rolling all 7 dice. Gonna have to do something about that. I have no idea what. Look at this board. This is completely scary and overwhelming, while this is a total farce. One showed up, so we only get the one dice to roll. They kill themselves. All right, we're getting there to the end game. Gandalf was ready for this. They are going to bring all their troops into Minas Tirith for a huge battle. Cinema. Da-da-da-da. Move up to 3 friendly troops in the same haven to 1 different haven.
Can't you read? This is not a haven. What do you think this looks like?
Never trust the dwarf. All right, well, we're going to be rolling a lot of dice over here, and hopefully we don't lose too many. So we don't lose too many because this is protection in the haven. So we lose 2 of the shadow. We lose none of the Gondorian troops who are heartened by the sight of Gandalf the Grey. Still Gandalf the Grey. Haven't made him white yet. Don't have that objective in the game.
I know this is a distraction, but I can't help but visit anyway.
So they've done all they're going to do, and they're going to pass turn. I'm basically running out the clock until I can get rings, which will not happen in the next pull, but possibly the pull after. And also, I have nothing else to do with Frodo and Sam. They're just waiting for that card to come out. All right, well, I knew this was coming. That is a Cloak and Tom Bombadil. Gain 1 hope or reroll 3 dice. The reroll 3 dice is probably going to happen because this hope roll is going to be ugly. All right, we have 1 shift to eye. Oh, come on. Wow, I've really gotten a lot of the blackbacks in this reshuffle, so Frodo has had a hard time of it, and 1 more troop and Nayar Harad. So we have another one, +1. No, that's troop movement. They're going to move from Umbar to Helm's Deep.
Let me out of here, this scary guy. I'm going to go conquer Helm's Deep by myself.
And the third, we have deploy 3 Nazgul from Mordor to the Eye. The Eye moved back. Darn it. Oh, my goodness. So the Nazgul do not move, but they are where they need to be, so that doesn't have a problem. And Westwood and Nirn, but that really doesn't matter.
That last pathetic soul that came, was that you or me? Pah, I don't want your charity. I'll go get my own.
Charge! Right into Emyn Muil. So we are going to roll 3 dice. He doesn't have a snazzy power that can change any effect of the dice. What they do have is a Dwarven craft. They did get a sword token out of the supply. That's one of their actions. This is technically their 3rd action. So we got 1, 2 dead. So Gimli is ahead on points. We lose 2 troops. Gladly for the sake of counting score. And most importantly, the eye lands in Rovanian. Whatever, let's use the sword. It's almost the end. I want to solidify my lead. And that is it for them. They'll pass turn. Frodo is going to pass turn, and we're going to pray to the 7 gods. A wrong IP that this is a ring. It is a ring. Good. I can finish the game off next turn, maybe. This is big because the eye is now outside of Mordor. So if I get that card that says deploy Nazgul to the eye, that only helps me. But that's troop movement. No, it is not troop movement. It is the Wheels of Saruman. Either remove 2 friendly troops. Single player must discard a total of 2 player cards or lose 1 hope. At this point, there's no use for cards. We are getting towards the end game. Number 2. Oh, sorry about that. Drums of War. 3 more troops deploy in Mordor. Doesn't affect me because they do not deploy to Mount Doom. And number 3, we have troop movement from Rhûn. That's like a first. To the Woodland Realm. In exchange for keeping the Woodland Realm safe, young dwarf, I thank you, and I accede to your combat prowess in our game.
You hear that, lads? We won! Yeah!
All right, got to bring the dice tower back in for a big roll. We are going to destroy the run ring. So it is Gollum's turn right now, but I'm just going to go with Frodo. Okay, so discard 5 rings. I finally have them. So then I make a search roll. And so adding 1 die for each missing hope. So I have 1 missing hope, but I have all these Nazgul over here. So it's 7 anyway, even with Gollum provided a discount because there's just so much stuff happening. All right, so if I am able to complete this without losing all of my hope, then I will be with a winner. And keep in mind that Frodo and Sam, this is, where is that? Sam's aid. Whenever a search is rolled, you may spend heart to ignore the same number of these symbols. So I have a 3 hope buffer on that. All right, let's get to it. That does something, but we are going to negate that with a heart. Nothing. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. So that is our third one. So that is going to get negated with a heart. So this is an unfortunate issue with the dice tower. It does somehow get stuck. So let's go ahead and shake that out and give that another roll. Blank. Blank. 1. We're going to remove a heart from that. And I believe this is the final one. Blank. Looks like I did pretty good. Did not lose too much hope. And I have won this game, this true solo playthrough of Fate of the Fellowship. I sincerely hope over the course of my coverage, 1 review, 2 playthroughs, multiplayer, single-handed, 6 different objectives of all the other objectives, lots of characters featured, that you have plenty of information, everything you need to know to see if this is worth your back in time or your back in dollar.
Or maybe you just came for the voices. If so, thank you.
Now go outside and touch some grass, precious.
And we will see you all, including you, Mr. Frodo, at the next stop.